In this episode, I'm going to take a look at marketing yourself as a speaker and look at what stops you from getting paid speaking gigs. In particular, I'm going to talk about one of the 8 marketing assets you need to develop to increase bookings as a speaker. This asset is really important. As an agent, I can assess a speaker applying for representation on this one single asset, and I can do it in about 15 seconds. In that 15 seconds, I'll know what level a speaker is at and roughly what fees they will likely be charging. Now, while I do this consciously, speaker bookers are also doing it subconsciously. They get a feeling that affects their confidence and trust, that affects their decision to book you or not. If you don't have the asset that I'm going to talk about in this episode, if you don't have that in place or you don't take it seriously, you're going to be overlooked and you're going to get underbooked. I'm Neil Fellows and I'm a speaker agent representing thought leaders and change makers. I started out in sales and marketing, then I became a speaker, then I mentored speakers on the business of speaking before I became a speaker agent. This means that I get you. I get what it's like to be on stage, and I also get what it's like to build a speaker business brick by brick. But what's different about me though is I also get what it's like to be on the other side of the fence, the booking side. And that's where I'm going to give you insights like you've never had before. The aim of this video series, How to Survive and Thrive as a Speaker, is to help you get more speaking gigs and get paid more and get representation with an agency. In this episode, we're going to be looking at marketing yourself as a speaker and what stops you getting paid speaking gigs. And I'm going to pick on one critical asset that you have to start taking really seriously. This asset is really important. As an agent, I can assess a speaker applying for representation on this one single asset in about 15 seconds. And in that 15 seconds, I'll know which of our 3 levels the speaker is at, and I'll know whether or not I could possibly represent them. Now, while I do this consciously, bookers do this unconsciously when they're considering booking you, but the result is actually still the same. So what is it that I do? When it comes to booking keynote speakers, the booker has to feel confident in the speaker that they're choosing. The booker and myself as an agent get a lot of information very quickly about a speaker from your testimonials. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you what I look for in a testimonial so you know what an agent and a booker is looking for, either consciously or unconsciously. First, let's look at what a testimonial is really. A testimonial can be defined as a statement given by a past client that describes their experience of working with you as a speaker. The testimonial can be given in writing or by video. As an agent, I want to see it in writing, but it's okay to show me 1 or 2 testimonials within your show reel. As an agent, I'm not going to sit through a 3-minute or 5-minute testimonial video while someone I don't know waxes lyrical about you. It's lovely for you to have it, but I'm not going to watch it. In most cases, a speaker will just ask the person who booked them for a testimonial, but more savvy speakers or their agent will ask more specific questions that help future bookers really understand what past bookers got when they had you speak on their stage. Reading a handful of testimonials should show me the impact the speaker had on an individual or an audience, the experience they enjoyed and the transformation that happened, including before and after comparison. Where possible, I also like to see some statistics showing improvements. Let's look at what a good testimonial does. From a speaker's point of view, the testimonials are an essential part of your marketing, and you want to make sure that you are going to use the most credible credentials you possibly can at the bottom of the testimonial based on the events you've spoken at. You'll also want to use the best wording available to you as well to showcase your reputation as a speaker. But here's the thing you need to be aware of. Savvy people like agents and experienced bookers see through the marketing. But let's look at why testimonials work. Then we'll look at how I grade them as an agent in as little as 15 seconds. Testimonials work because they provide social proof. It's the next best thing to a recommendation from a friend or a peer. And remember, 40% of your bookings will come from recommendations from within the booker's peer group. So testimonials are critical at this point. In a way, your testimonial is a subtle sales aid. Somebody's spoken about you, and then they can go and read a testimonial about you. Now, you could read a speaker's bio, you could speak to that speaker, and you could even agree a fee. But in a booker's mind, there is always the question of proof. If a showreel is available, then the showreel may answer the question about the speaker's on-stage delivery, but there will still be a question about how the overall performance or the interaction and engagement of the audience and the results and the outcomes from that speaker. And that's where testimonials come in. A good testimonial is icing on the cake. But what makes a good testimonial? A good testimonial, a credible testimonial, includes the name of the person or the organization giving the testimonial. The bigger the name or the organization, the more credible the testimonial may be. Now, testimonials with just initials are not thought of as being very credible. In fact, for me, they have the reverse effect. They give you a negative score. I can't speak for bookers, but I'm sure that they would rather see the name of the person, their title, and the name of the company displayed in the testimonial. So how do I evaluate a speaker based on testimonials in less than 15 seconds? A keynote speaker testimonial will very quickly tell me a lot about the experience and the competence of the speaker. For example, an established speaker who is used to speaking in front of big audiences and commands a larger fee will have testimonials from corporations and institutions that can pay that kind of fee. You'll likely have heard of these organisations. The testimonial will also likely come from a vice president, a director or CEO, or somebody senior. So here's how I grade testimonials quickly. Less experienced speakers will have testimonials from schools, universities, companies you haven't heard of, and those testimonials will be given maybe by a business owner or business leader or head teacher or an event organizer. Now, knowing this means I can literally skim read the testimonial. I can just go straight to the person who gave that testimonial, and I'll know if that speaker is at a level 1, 2 or 3. So let's look at this through the eyes of a speaker booker. If the booker's budget is £0 to £1,500, they should expect to book a speaker whose testimonials show less credibility and experience. If the booker's budget is £5,000 plus, you can expect to see a speaker have more experience and credibility in their testimonials. If a speaker is between £1,500 and £5,000, you could expect to see at least one big stage in the speaker's testimonial, and that may be an indication that this speaker is on the rise and their fees will likely increase soon. So what does this tell you? It tells you how important it is to collect testimonials. It also shows you how those testimonials will be viewed, and this gives you a goal to aim for, namely to continually improve the quality of your testimonials in terms of what's being said and who said it, because in the future these testimonials will start to have some bearing on what fee you can charge. So if you want to earn more, start collecting testimonials. We dive deeper into testimonials in our Rising Stars program, which I'll talk about in just a moment. To wrap up, in this episode, I've talked about the importance of testimonials, how they work psychologically, how you can improve them, and how they will improve your fees in time. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about how to pitch to an agent, and I'm going to explain the best approaches and share some of those with you. And I'll also share some, let's call them horror stories with you. Meanwhile, if you found this video useful, please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified about all of our latest uploads. If you want to be taken seriously by a speaker agent and speaker bookers, you want to make sure that you've got your speaker assets in place. Just because you've been on the speaker circuit for a couple of decades and you've had some high-paying gigs, it doesn't automatically mean that you're representation ready. But what will set you apart from other speakers is ensuring your speaker assets are in place. At Stellar, we think of it like this. A star system is a constellation of stars with a gravitational pull. We think of your speaker assets as that gravitational pull, and we've developed a program called Rising Stars that walks you through how to create and update 8 critical assets we call essentials. We give you a directory of speaking stages, share speaking opportunities so you can get out on the circuit, give you invaluable industry insights helping you to spot the trends or build your understanding of a certain niche sector in the market. We also give you templates, checklists and bonus video interviews, hand you quarterly trainings on hot topics and give you access to quality providers who can help you develop your assets. Best of all, once you've completed the program and developed your assets, we may even take you on and represent you. So you can find out more about Rising Stars. I'll add a link in the description and I'll see you in the next video.